he's going to be absolutely fine right here. I really like this composition out of JDG. It's not the sort of composition that can come back from a deficit, but if you manage to get yourself even the slightest of leads, you can just maul your opponents right here. This fab sniping right here, Jun just heading straight towards topside. Breathe is so pushed up right now with no vision.
Yeah, and that will allow for Tien on the backside to steal away these Raptors, so Jun is investing his own economy into making this play work. Breathe does not have the flash on the Gwen, drops the exhaust a bit early. Jun trying to buy space for all to re-step up as the slow start stacking, but Breathe is making this closer than maybe anticipated. Nonetheless, the first blood comes across. Allah gets a kill on his Rumble at the price of the sweet, sweet camps of his jungler. How you commit your arcane shift, so it scares me every time as an Ezreal aficionado. I watch some of our LPL great marksmen arcane shift forward. Just a little tidbit on the champion that I can provide. Tien, though, like we talked about, using his camp lead to start up this dragon. He will be able to take that one successfully, but Shun is going back to a similar well, it looks like, and he's taking the long route around. The exhaust is going to be back up here for Breeze, but Tien, as we talked about, in a bit more of a powerful position. Full level up on Shun is going to start these grubs. Has not smited one down yet, so doesn't have to sacrifice any of the grubs just yet, and JDG are just a little bit too late on this rotation. Really no way to stop this take. And Tien is going to earn himself and his squad Void Mites going forward in Game 1.
I'm surprised that we didn't see any aggression right there out of JDG. You've got yourself that equalizer. Hoarding guys already in the back pocket of Allah, so that would have done a decent chunk of damage, a good amount of slowing as well here on this buy.
I will say though, JDG, they have their bottom lane ultimates. Oh, good dash there for missing. They had hijack that Scout is yet to use.
Yeah.
But a good vision setup here from Weibo is going to make it a pretty late call to try and contest it. The Shun-Seen angle after the fight. He has Missing pop the quickness. There's a great set of stones, though, to make sure that Missing doesn't come through. So Xiaohu protects his jungler well and gets an ult for free. And like you called out, the scaling, dragon stacking factor going to become a big win con going forward for Weibo. JDG right there, just not respecting Xiaohu. And the seismic shove burns his flash, which isn't integral to the recon kit, but definitely always pivotal in major fights. Is we got a brawl blocking down on the bot side here. We got a hijack need to work, a real need to work, an exhaust, so much action, but it's going to be Scout bodying the Breathe that's been starved of resources all games long.
Yeah, unfortunately, Breathe just doesn't win those at the moment. And
this is 4 matchup, which they do get as Scout teleports himself in. Does not have the hijack available for the Unbreakable Will. Are Weibo willing to commit for this Rift Herald? A man down. Breathe does respond to be able to teleport himself in, but missing once again. Caught out early by Xiaohu. Seismic shoves him nearly to death. Now Shun gets jumped in. He's alone in the pit, but he's going to smite home the Rift Herald. Don't think they're going to be able to collect the eye here as Scout and Shun are going to have to dash themselves out over the pit, but another great seismic shove. Xiaohu is setting up so many kills. But Scout is going to be able to get over the wall thanks to that hijack finally coming up in the Bane.
Their soul point picked up and it's just melting through. I don't know that Jun's going to be able to get in to even try for a steal.
Not a lot of ults come in for JDG in that last Rift Herald fight, but Shun gets caught by guess who again? Xiaohu with the seismic shove, pushing Shun away from the Drake, but he's going to try and fly with the cease and desist. Might fight 21 HP. Who wins it? It's Tien that comes away. Shun goes for the re-engage as a 2-man vault breaker, but Light is able to slip on out. And now it's Weibo trying to get out of the pit, or maybe not as the turn comes across. 2-shot barrage, ranks over 3, missing far too low. Can Breathe find the kills? No, he falls just a couple hit points short. Oh, this is the matchup I want. The Elder Statesman going blow for blow. Unfortunately, Scout is kind of making it easy on Xiaohu. He takes a turret shot. He's already about half HP, but you know the Silas can heal on up. Xiaohu, though, has just been so locked in as he lands another seismic shove. And the General claims an Elder Statesman of the LPL. This game, it's really set up some of the, to burn some of those flashes, and also now starting to really claim the kills as he gets the Seraphs done. Going for some sort of combination of the Haunting guys as well. And Allah, while all that was going on the bot side, will grab this top lane tier 1 turret. The first one for JDG, who definitely have a lot of ground to make up, despite how close the gold seems to be. Tien is on the wrong side of the map for this. Good read by JDG.
Really Really well played. Going to be able to pick themselves up that bound Atakan right here. And JDG, that's going to go a long ways towards putting themselves back into this game in terms of those just extra stats getting these objectives. Now you can see a big push going on, but there is a response from JDG.
Oh, it's Xiaohu again. I mean, Missing doesn't even get to move. When he gets the quickness out, he's already 10 HP. Gets 0 value out of that recon. And now Xiaohu dropping the Waver's Wall, trying to provide more space for his team. Scout gonna hijack that Crescent Guard to block a lot of the projectile damage coming through.
You have to play for this one. Where's the ultis though? What do you do?
All right, Weibo, at the same time, we can't let ourselves get cornered here and let Shun just walk up for a 50-50. Are we really just going to gamble an Infernal Soul that will really change the game here? No, they're just going to jump on Tien and pop him. Oh! Shun slides in, secures the dragon, and starts the turn back for JDG. They've gotten all that they've wanted. They knocked down Tien, they find the dragon, they stall the game out. There's no reason to push the luck any further. Pays with an excellent flash right over Erha, who is dizzy with the plays from the JDG AD carry, and now all hell's breaking loose. Cease and assist down. Xiaohu cannot survive the equalizer. Breathe next to fall. Here comes JDG Gaming. Sweep home an ace.
This is what we wanted to see from the bot lane. Pays feeling himself right there. Beautiful flash to be able to get himself in onto that one. They steal away the dragon. They stop it from being soul point. JDG, they are back. Dive taken away, but you could just go flying in right here. There's a Pays feeling himself.
Oh.
Now without the flash. Wait, he's fine.
Erha.
He lives that.
Erha, yeah, he only headbutted to get the pulverize down. Missing. Liamdree's burn him. No, the slippery recon gets out as well. Once again, Pays finding the first critical kill. Now JDG looking to carry that over for more. True shot barrage hijacked there by Scout. Hits on Tien, who once again on a blinking health bar, but JDG showing some real resolve right now.
To be able to really pop off for themselves. Now got the Baron spawning, just 10 seconds until that one's going to be available on the map. And you're going to really need it to be able to crack open these towers. There is so much wave clear available.
We'll have some trouble with decision making around that Soul Dragon, but here is where JDG have struggled. Inside lanes, getting picked off, but maybe they're going to get their ailment, the right medication by just slamming their side lane picks themselves. All the teleports just in time and help Scout push that solo kill over the break.
You want to fight for that soul as Weibo in a 4v5. I don't know if the answer is going to be yes for them. There's going to be no response whatsoever. This is now going to be 2 dragons in a row that you're going to be able to pick up as JDG. If they're able to keep going with this one, imagine the 4 Infernal Drake Soul for JDG here. That would be crazy.
That would be awesome for us to see, terrifying for the Weibo fans watching along here. Really impressed by how JDG are taking these timers on these pick plays. Xiaohu setting up for the longest cease and assist you'll ever see, but it's okay because it's a dive comp with Kai'Sa's Pays. He flies in with the Killer Instinct with the Blast Cone mishaps, rearing their ugly head. Shun went for one hell of a roller coaster ride, and it ends with a gray screen, courtesy of a little Blast Cone.
Right into a Baron. Instead, they're going to lose themselves mid lane tier 2 off the back of that play. They're lucky that they're not going to instantly lose the Baron, although Weibo, they are looking towards it.
Shun, about 15 seconds till he respawns. Have the smite advantage. Tien's going to make the call. Weibo know this game is really faltered out of their control. They're looking to even it up with the purple banner. Although going to commit the equalizer. Once again, Tien is the victim that goes down half HP already, but they do end up catching Scout, diving in a bit too early. The stasis is going to buy him some time, but Breathe finds the shutdown. The timing for JDG just not there without their jungler. And it gives a big gold influx to that scary Gwen. The Kai'Sa with a blinking health bar and another window for Weibo to try their hand at Baron. Pace has to recall alongside Missing. JDG again, they can't decide what they want to do. They don't have their AD carry. The equalizer comes down from Allah. Shun is going to have to steal it. Can he get it? No! Tien secures the purple banner, and now they're fighting without their AD carry. Pace has to stay on the front end of the fight. Allah goes into the stasis, but Breathe has finally arrived. This Gwen started to do some serious work, but Scout buying so much time, his health bar just will not disintegrate, and just like that, Scout pops Weibo. Nice Baron. See you later, WBG. Ace again to JDG.
And that time it was all Scout right there. The amount of healing that we were seeing out of the Sylas was crazy. Was just sat in a 3v1 for so long, buying time for FaZe and Shun to be able to pick up the kills on the backside of that fight. Managed to finally get through the Alistar with the Unbreakable, turn it around. This has been a real pop-off performance right here. The Sylas been looking great. The stolen ultis so good. Baron was picked up. there's not going to be any Baron power play, and in fact, the next trait goes over as well while we're in that replay.
Into this one. They can survive and hold out these pushes with, by the way, Baron going over to Weibo means there is no Baron waves, and they're going after Allah. Here's the problem for JDG of recent. They can't control their side lanes correctly. Right on cue, Allah falls.
Available on the kit as well. It'll be insane.
Speaking of survivability, as the tier 2 top lane turret is the real prize for knocking Allah down as he responds in mere seconds. Going for a flanker, trying to find out where the Vi is, the only person not accounted for in JD Gaming's repertoire. Xiaohu's gonna face check though into Shun, gets the Banshee Seal out, here's the dive comp coming across, Xiaohu's down! The comp JDG drafted to pop the Taliyah, finds its mark in the biggest time, Pays flashing over the wall to get away from Breathe and Light. The fight is now split, Scout still holding on to the unbreakable will, as Missing goes down first, Pays trying to get back to the rest of JDG, Erha's gonna fall next, the will of the Alistar has been broken, and Soul Point for JDG is gonna be theirs after Weibo had 3 chances.
3. It's like 3 shots to be able to pick
4, I guess, but pressing guard, and look how little damage Weibo can now get through onto the Silas. Scout able to escape with his life. Xiaohu pulls up to the fight with the Weaver's wall. Is walling off JDG's escape routes, but Breathe is going to get charmed up. Missing doing a really good job blanketing Pays, who does not have flash, so he's going to have to fight his way out. But Breeze's health bar disintegrates. Pays gets over the wall once again. Pays is unkillable in this game. There is no way for Weibo to answer the might of one of the LPL's greatest AD carries this split, and they're just falling across the line. Light and Breathe lucky, counting their stars that they've gotten out of the enemy jungle. Lead 1-0.
Be able to push this one through right here unless there's a miracle out of Light and Breathe, and there really is not a lot of tools left available to either of them. Low health buzz is the only potential saving grace right here with the Baron buff with that Infernal Soul.
Here we go. Need to work through. They do pop some of those GAs. Scout goes down first. Breathe is slicing and dicing JDG. They lose Missing and Scout just like that. Right, trying to see if he can push more of an issue, but the mission has been accomplished. Base still intact for Weibo, but they're still hunting. True Shot Barrage. Allah, the scrap vest is going to keep him safe. Breeze still chasing. Allah, the blast cone. He's not going to take it. He turns back into Breeze's face and gives away another kill.
What? Round to get that burst off. What do you lose in response, right? 20 seconds now until Scout's going to be up and available. Slightly less for Missing. 40 until Arla is here. And after nearly looking to end, JDG, they get turned around on right here and are going to lose at least an inhibitor tower. Do Weibo keep pushing?
No, Weibo, do not make the same mistake of JDG right now. They're feeling the pressure. Like this game is going to slip out of their hands if they don't go for it all now. But they get Scout back up, although he's still about 20 seconds away. Shun's going to start the engage, flies on into 4 members, but Breathe gets charmed up and cut down. Shun sacrifices his life for Breathe. 4 versus 3 for Weibo. They're going to try and kite back, and they're not going to make the same mistakes of their counterpart for now. Waves, the priority there. 3 loyal caster minions. That's what Weibo are bringing into the JDG base, and they have successfully pulled all of JD Gaming off the Elder. We thought it was going to be the Elder, but are we really just about to show down the base? Yes, we are. Equalizer through. Shun flies in. Xiaohu's health bar is eviscerated. He's popped just like that. Allah and Shun combined to bring the might home. Pays has the GA. He'll fall, but pop right back up. Who needs Elder when you've got Shun and Allah to bring you home? Ace, that's it! JD Gaming, 45 minutes, they will stamp themselves 1-0 up in this series!
There we go, it was hard fought, it was not easy at all, but finally going to be able to pick themselves up the win are JDG. The death time was way too long right there, and Weibo, they try something. They don't think they're going to be able to win onto that Elder, they don't want to flip it. And instead, they just get caught out. As much as it's exciting to see Pays unkilled throughout this entire game, it is that equalizer out of Arlo that wins the fight. It's massive, straight across the backline, deals so much damage. It's just going to be the game picked up nice and easy right here for JDG. It takes 45 minutes, but they're going to be 1-0 up.
It's like, all right, pick the Nautilus, pick the Leona. No, you force him onto these enchanters. But as you pointed out, a lot of scalers on the top side for JDG. The Light is going to be able to get the full potential out of this Varus, but What can solve that ailment is getting the Varus pretty far ahead. Is Xiaohu's going for a level 3 roam with stun available. Missing does have the flash, but doesn't have the heal. And Xiaohu dares him to flash first, and he fails that dare and gives first blood into the General's hands.
At least be able to get the flash off properly enough to be able to survive in that situation. Instead, it's going to be a kill going down. Now Tian going to be hunting Jun in his jungle. Actually manages to get the stun off right here. This is a no flash
has no flash. Yep, exactly as you called it, Bloxer. Weibo coming out hungry.
Well, same thing here for Weibo. If they can get themselves a big lead early on.
Oh my god, he stole the red buff. He blind stole the red buff. But he doesn't win this. He has nobody coming to help him, so he's just gift wrapped the red buff. Scout, what are you doing there? Feats of Warfare, 2 kills to Xiaohu.
Okay, so you're going to get the full lane swap, vertical map play, vertical jungling, just straight up vertical map play. Teleport going to come in from Breathe to get him into this bottom lane. Xiaohu also going to head down towards the bottom side of the map. The Drake does get picked up here for JDG. I really like this out of Xiaohu. He needed to respond, although might get caught here.
Doesn't have the flash available to him, gets trapped in the Yorick pit, but Breathe is here with dominance, pops it, but he doesn't have his Xiaohu next to him. Timbers is trying to get some work done. Holy cola, the Meek. Breathe just healed about 200 HP, but guess what's better? The Rend comes through for Pays. Should be just fine as we see the bot lane rotating the mid once more here for JDG. Shun has showed up, level 6 here, hits the Swirl Seed. Knight's gonna go Xiaohu, he gets close enough to his turret, gets the heal from his support. Huge 2-man stun, but guess what prevails at last? It's once again the Rend from Pays. Tian flies in though to get one in the missing, gets the impale down onto Shun as well. What a topsy-turvy game. These teams just can't stop fighting, and we've got more action coming. Pays clutch timing on that flash. The stun lands, but
Weibo, they're gonna have all 3 of these. No response at the moment from Jun. I've got to be honest, in terms of team compositions that like crazy back and forth early games, the one with the Lilia-Light, even though the early game's been crazy, getting to take away the 3 grubs from the team that has got the Yorick, that's going to be massive, but the fighting continues.
Oh, missing. Doesn't have hostile takeover. He has flash, but there's no point in burning it. He still does. Gets Breathe to trade his, but missing mispositions, continuing for another game.
Oh, that being
Tibbers versus Maiden.
Dive. The dive is about to come through. With Maiden up, he's got a lot of healing to his name, so be careful to not get stunned up against the wall though, or impale.
Shun is close by as well. He's going to flash back towards his teammate. Impale available for Tian. He takes a couple of turret shots. Lilting Lullaby comes across. There's the hostile takeover. Really well positioned from missing, and it collapses the dive. Alla survives, and that's not the headline. Guess what the real one is? 3 for 0. JDG once again. Read the Weibo minds. This is interacting with Dominus. You also lose first turret.
Yeah,
that is feats of strength.
Baffled by that. I do not know why he didn't just take that proc. You know you've got your support coming down. You know Jun's in the area as well. You can just take that tower.
Alright, well, this is what they wanted. And Breathe not going to be able to sidestep the handshake. Pops the Dominus, but this is 1 versus 3, and he's putting the playpen. Yorick dictates it. Alla gets another kill. The turret does go down. So while you give up the upgraded boots, overall, gold-wise, is a bigger win for JDG on the cross map.
You know.
Okay, so we got 9 as the cast.
Little, but 4 solid ones so far. Tian picking this one up, very much not going to be a facepalm. Weibo so far has been playing a great game here on the Renata. Although a little bit of pressure right here. Herald also getting popped from Weibo. They just want to take down this mid lane tier 1.
They have 4 members strong here. Scout's going to TP in. Alla's still busy with the top lane tier 1. Turret's going to go down. Tian looking for a potential impale angle, but Shun is being really
walk away.
Is this a distraction though? Xiaohu is way more to take over the main, and here comes the play for Pays and missing. They use the Fate's Call to go after Erha. Pays is trying to hop around, but he's got a croc right in front of his face, so he flashes forward. Erha escapes. There's no red coming across. They commit so much just to knock down the Weibo support, but Shun is running wild in the back of this fight. Clutch impale from Tien might have just saved Xiaohu. He flashes over the Swirl Seed. He gets the X-Styles impact. Shun thought he had a double kill. He's having to work for just one of the kills, but the Lilia is just so hard to outpace. On the flip side of this fight, Breathe gets 1 kill done, but Alla is way too far accelerated. The Yorick is going to send another one to the grave with the spade. Smacks him down. A messy fight, so accurately potent for this game too, but it's JDG barely coming out on top.
Fight so many different places where this one could have gone wrong or well, depending on who you're supporting in this one. Jun,
oh my!
Smite. Yep.
Oh, Erha. That was huge.
Well for himself. Yeah, at the very end of this one, but I feel like Breathe just isn't able to get anywhere near as much priority from this team fight as he would have hoped for. It's because he's just not been able to get ahead for himself in this team fight. Arla's so much further ahead than he is, just chunking him through, although very much...
A side lane going, he's actually present for this fight. We have Scout. Way too far away here. Yeah, good call. This is a 4v5, and Missing walks right into Xiaohu. They do get the Fates call out, so Timbers doesn't get a lot of value. Shun trying to chase off Xiaohu. Does get him away. Hostile takeover. Gonna hit onto 2. Pays is starting to free hit. Gets a ton of Ren stacks into Breathe. What is he gonna call it? Boom. There's the first kill for Pays. He remains untouched in this fight as Shun tries to run down Xiaohu and Erha. The root comes across the Lilia, but he has the stasis. He's waiting on his teammates. Shun needs the backup for JDG, but it's the kill over to Light. Finally, Scout shows up. Fate sealed onto Xiaohu. Only gets 1. Tien limps away from another Ren. Erha trying to buy space for Light, who really has lethal tempo, starting to free fire. It's a Gatling gun of Avaris, and Erha's trying to set him up. Light, due to be the hero, provide the halo for Weibo as they desperately try and crawl back in this game. All is far too low. Watch Tien off to the side. Already used the Ixtal's impact. Doesn't throw the stone close enough. So Pays and Ala escape, but a big win for Weibo. Steps up most of this game. Or are on the flip side, who makes the least amount of mistakes that really could come out on top? As we have a catch onto Tien. Very tanky Skarner. Gets 2-man impale, but Erha's nearby. He has to flash over the wall to save him. The hostile takeover hits onto him and Tien. Where's the rest of Weibo? Because Tien is buying so much space. Erha finally falls. Breathe is about half HP. Here's the Fate Seal from Scout, though. And he gets the X Factor ult. We were waiting for him the last fight. Scout just made sure to send a pre-order through to the LPL English fans. Because once the big product came, boy did it hit for JD Gaming.
There we go. They're just going to be able to push through onto this bottom lane tower as well, pick themselves up even more gold, reset, spend it as well, and head back out onto the map to pick themselves up another one of these Drakes. It's not happening between the two ADCs because Pays just annihilates Light on the back end of that fight.
Scout has had a ton of criticism levied his way for a lot of mistakes at different points of this group ascent stage.
Right here.
Breathe has teleport, but he's walking his way up, so JDG are going to try and force their way in. Scout off to the side. Baron below 4K. Are we going to 50-50 this? Who's going to come out on top? Hostile takeover, impale. Tien impales the jungler, then hits the smite. Can they win the fight off the back end? Because Pays is running wild. Everyone on top of each other. Breathe finally shows up, but Pays with another clutch frag. He gets in, finds 2 kills, gets out. Pays is a superstar for JDG, and he might just push them over the edge to get the sweep home. It's just Shun and Erha. Shun is going to chase down Tien and Erha. They're looking for the knockout blow here. Blocks her. They won't let this Karma and Skarner escape until they just barely get back to their tier 2 turret.
Just about going to be able to squeak away, but still the fight very much won right here for JDG. There is going to be 2 Barons available for Weibo, but they've lost 500 gold off the back of it. And remember, that counter includes the 1,500 gold you get for simply picking up the objective. This game very much falling away from Weibo. They may well be on a 5-game losing streak when all is said and done at the end of today. I think all but one of them is going to be bad. Wow. Most likely.
Weibo, though, indexing this Baron play into the mid lane. They knock down the tier 2 turret. They get the hostile takeover out for very little, but Light is the one that gets hit, and he immediately takes his teammate down about half HP.
In out onto this 4v5. I love this from Scout, actually. He's just trying to stop any recalls.
He wants Pays. He gets the root. Xiaohu's here. Timbers down. With the Fates call from Pays is once again perfectly timed. Lilting Lullaby into the Fate Seal. They've got Light, and they've shoved him into the dark depths of the gray screen. Pays finally drops on the top side of the fight to Xiaohu, but it's time for Scout and Shun to try and bring this one home. Scout full HP, but he's lost all of his teammates. Keep in mind, though, the bottom left corner of your screen. Scout is buying so much time for Ala. He gets himself the triple kill. No way. Can Scout do it all on his own? The Karma Shields may ruin it. His health bar's too low. Gets the Q. W comes down, goes back forward, but the healing's enough. But the base of Weibo is the big loss. Ala's not slowing down, Bloxer.
Can he do it? I don't think he can do it. He just doesn't have the build. He's got a team fight build. He's not got the Yorick build that we were really expecting.
Oh my god, he's going for it. No way.
There's no way.
It's just the tank, Skarner, and the Karma. They're not doing any damage. Erha and Tien, they're watching their base implode. Finally, it's Ala that comes up and Light saves it. Oh man. I am continually perplexed. Okay, he just Fate Sealed to get closer to Scout. He didn't even use the ultimate on Xiaohu. What am I watching? Ah, my eyes! Here they go. Starting the Baron. Redemption's going to spot them out. 4v4 for now. Light does a ton of damage onto this Baron. Scout goes over the wall to spot it. They use the Fate's Call to get away from Xiaohu's major damage. They throw missing towards Xiaohu, but he gets away from the handshake. Has all on top of him, and the fight is separated by that big wall. And guess who's on top of Xiaohu? It's Pays for the first kill. Shooting the Muck, trying to use the bailout to get saved, but Light finds the kill.
Oh,
Scout flies in, tries to get onto Light, but he survives once more. Lethal tempo going brazy for Weibo's AD carry. And now it's the marksman that we have to highlight as this fight continues to evolve. Tons of low health bars. Erha, Tien, Breathe. They're so low and ripe for the taking. All the flies in, but the shields are so massive. But Pays is bigger. You thought he fell off last series? Guess what? Pays is the top marksman in the league for reasons like this. Completely ends Weibo's chances. Get the brooms out. Weibo have been swept out by JD Gaming.
There we go, that's the team fight that they've been finally looking for. That's why the Yorick is built like a team fight mauler, and they're going to be able to just push through and end this game. Xiaohu is going to be up in 7 seconds time. If he's got a miracle in him, now would be the time to pull it out, and this is going to be Weibo's chances of making it into the playoffs straight up, disappearing away from them right in front of their eyes.
Scout seeping in, holy moly, Timber's value. Alla doesn't have a chance. I hate that the turrets are a little bugged.
They're not going to be able to end.
No, JDG.
Smite fight somehow.
They have Rent Smite, so they really shouldn't lose. And no, they don't want to gamble it. The death timers are too long. They come off of the Baron. It doesn't even. Oh my God! They actually signed, sealed, and delivered a Baron to Weibo.
All right, let's see if this one gives Weibo positive gold.
No, not with that. Tibbers from Xiaohu. He just whipped his entire combo. Scout gets out. They're going to lose the Infernal Drake for this, the No Soul. But Pays is hunting.
Pays.
Fate's Call once more. Pays is in front of all of Weibo. Who can finally shut down this Callista? He's dashing all around the bailout. It comes through. How does Pays do it? He's a miracle worker.
Yo!
This guy is an absolute wizard. And he's decimating Weibo again. This time, it's finally over. I'll say it. It's Pays is at the top of the LPL. And he's trying to rip JDG up with him.
Oh my lord, that is one of the sexiest plays I've seen in a while. Pays using every bit of his health bar, every bit of the bailout as well from missing. Just so gorgeous. And this finally is going to be the end. This is going to be the 2-0 for JDG, the momentum they needed to carry on. They want to get themselves into that top 4.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.